Well, we know that deep learning is allowing our devices to get better and better at understanding what we're saying, but wouldn't you also like their voices to get a little more natural sounding, you know, less like Siri and Alexa and more like Hal or Samantha? Well, your wait is almost over. Google's DeepMind has announced WaveNet. That's new AI that mimics a human voice so well that soon we might not be able to tell the difference. Here's how most text-to-speech systems work right now. They either recombine fragments of recorded speech or they generate speech by passing information through a vocoder. But Google researchers created a program that learns from the audio that it's fed and produces raw audio sample by processing at least 16,000 samples per second. Don't worry, the robot overlords have not yet learned to read. You still have to feed them the text. I think we can listen to the difference.
The Blue Lagoon is a 1980 American
that's the old
romance
one.
and
This is
adventure
actually
film directed by Randall Kleiser.
That's like the old Android version that like a couple of years ago. Go to the next one.
The Blue Lagoon is a 1980 American romance and adventure film directed by Randall Kleiser.
I feel like that's what you have right now, or what we have on Android devices right now. This is WaveNet.
The Blue Lagoon is a 1980 American romance and adventure film directed by Randall Kleiser.
A lot more gliding, a lot more natural kind of transition from the different parts of the words and, you know, the different sounds and everything. Apparently, they're going to work a breath into here too, because the samples, you know, they're all taken from actual people speaking, and now they're getting to the point to where they can sample even the breaths that happen in between certain words or sentences at the end of a sentence or whatever, and they can kind of throw that into the model. I love this stuff. I'm so excited for this. For some strange reason, like I've read and seen a lot of videos over the last couple of years about how they do this. I find it fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, blind tests say it was 50% more human sounding. I couldn't tell the difference. But you're an audio guy. Could you really tell the difference?
Yes. I could absolutely tell the difference between the second example and the third example. It's less between the first and the third example. Absolutely no question. Like I feel like that's like the difference between seeing black and white and color. Between the second and the third, it's close, but I can definitely hear the difference. The second one still has a little bit of that like rigid kind of robotic tails, you know, on how the sounds are stitched together. You can kind of hear that a little bit. Of course, my ears are really sensitive to this kind of stuff because I'm not a huge fan of like vocal correction in music. Like there was this long trend of overcorrecting, like "You believe in life after love." You know, that song kind of kicked it off. That whole effect that they started to do to really overcorrect voice, and I always felt like I could hear it even when they were doing it subtly. So maybe that's it, but I definitely hear a big difference.
Yeah, I love that song. You would say.
I'm not saying it's a bad song, and they use that effect to good effect, I suppose. If you're a fan of Cher, we were Sonny and Cher just the other day. I might remind you.
You were Cher without that, processing. I
mean,
guess.
This is basically, in my eyes, this is basically Deep Dream for audio. And Deep Dream a couple of years ago is where, you know, it kind of revealed how Google's algorithms and AI was taking image recognition and matching patterns, being able to kind of pull different things from one and match it into another and smash it together. When they played on the same thing, they have these music examples, and it's pieces of piano, so they fed it all sorts of different clips of piano, and then the machine, the algorithm, basically put together its own, you know, mini concerto. I mean, they were very small audio pieces, but it's super convincing.
Yeah.
Like just the way that it learned how to take all these little tiny chunks of piano and combine it together to make this abstract piano piece. It just really goes to show how the lines of creativity in humans and the creativity in robotics and stuff are really blending and merging right now. Very cool stuff.